Now that we've got our handle finished and secured for a good couple hours, we're going to go ahead and wrap the guides. I've gone ahead and pre-spaced where I'm going to put the guides by using a China marker. Put a mark on the blank. Best way to space your guides is to either use a previous rod that you've had or bought even as a guide, or use a guide on Mudhole's website or in their catalog to start with. Get an idea, go ahead and put the guides in the blank just with masking tape for the blank. Bend the blank and see how the guides look in reference to the action of the rod. The best way to do is go ahead and put your reel in the handle, or on your handle. Run the line up through the guides and bend it, just as you would if you were fighting a fish. Look at how the line bends. If you have any sharp angles in your guides, go ahead and move those guides around up or back and adjust them so you get a nice smooth transition from guide to guide with no angles. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and start wrapping your guides. We've got it previously marked by our China marker. Take our thread bobbin. Again, put the thread above the guide towards the tip. Go ahead and tape it to the blank. Pull our thread back towards the foot of the guide, towards the handle of the rod. Make a wrap. Or two, doesn't matter how many you come back, how many wraps it takes you to get back. Just now, once we've got to the base of the guide, we're going to come over ourselves, make our cross just like before. And then we're going to do our 4 to 6 wraps to lock it on. Once we've got that, we can take our tape off the thread above, and we can cut our tag end off. Just like that. Now we can wrap our way up to the guide foot. Again, keeping pressure down and back to keep your thread tight. Just add a little extra tape to keep the guide foot down to make it easy. And then here we're going to start our transition up to the guide. And again, there's a little gap up there where right where we came up onto the guide foot. Not a problem. We'll just take our fingernail, or in this case, we'll just use the back end of a razor blade, push the thread down a little bit, and then it'll fill in that gap for us. And once again, we want to push that thread. If we compact it anywhere, we want to go ahead and do it all the way around. So our thread is the same all the way around. We don't get ahead of ourselves. And we just continue wrapping. Take that extra tape off. Keep wrapping. Now that we've gotten up on the guide, we can take our tape, all of our tape off. And again, keep the pressure down and slightly back to keep your wraps from going back on themselves, but not too far forward to where they're making gaps. Once we get towards the top of the guide, we're going to go ahead and make our loop again to lock our thread in. Again, just take a piece of thread, fold it in half, take the loop side towards the tip, put it under the thread, and it's best to do it not on the top of the guide, but maybe on the back of the blank. Again, our loop is over here. I'm going to wrap over it about 4 or 6 times. We want to grab our thread and keep pressure on the guide side of the thread. Oops. and put our thread through our loop, which is toward on the tip side, just like that. And then use your finger to put pressure on the wraps so they don't come undone until you get this secured in your hand. Tag end secured in your hand. Take the loop, pull the tag ends through, so you're pulling the loop underneath, and you're pulling that thread back through, and it locks on itself. And we can take our tag end, cut it off, and you're good to go. Just take the burnishing tool, tighten up our small gaps. Some dirt on the white thread here, not being careful, but obviously you want to be super careful if you're using white thread. I'm just using this to show you. And there you go.